Welcome to the very first episode of Road Rage Radio, the podcast where we talk about all the chaos that happens when we hit the road. From those wild traffic jams that seem to have no cause, to the things that drive us crazy in the car, to how it's actually wrecking our health. This is the place for it. I'm your host, Jack Subaru, and I've got my awesome guest today. Someone who spends more time on the road than a NASCAR driver, Sanoor Meow. Sanoor, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jack. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been surviving traffic for what feels like centuries. If there were a PhD in getting stuck in traffic, I'd have one by now.
Yeah, right. You'd have multiple degrees. Seriously, man, I think I spend more time in my car than at my job. And I'm sure you've got some stories from your daily commutes.
Oh man, where do I start? Last week I spent 3 hours getting home because of some random parade. A parade? Like, what is this, Mardi Gras? There was no reason for it, and of course, I was in the car just thinking, why does this always happen when I'm late for something important?
You're lucky, man. I once got stuck behind an accident where a guy's tire literally exploded while he was in the middle of a Tinder date, just sitting there trying to impress someone. Like, what kind of bad luck is that?
That's the kind of stuff you can only experience in the world of traffic.
Exactly. So today, we're diving into the big question. How does all this traffic we're stuck in affect our health? From the stress of being late to the mental breakdowns, and don't get me started on what it does to your body.
Right. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty, people. But we'll break it all down. We'll talk about what causes all this traffic, how it messes with our minds and bodies, what drives us absolutely bonkers in traffic, and even what's happening to the environment because of all those cars.
Stick with us, because we've got solutions too. Alright, let's roll into this thing. So first, let's break down the causes of traffic jams. Sanoor, you've been on the road every day. What's the biggest culprit for you?
Honestly, it's always congestion. I'll be sitting there just creeping along like a zombie in a horror movie, and it's like, why are we even stopped? There's nothing going on. I get frustrated thinking, this is just a bunch of cars going nowhere.
Yeah, that's the classic. And then you get those times where you think it's all clear, and then boom, some random accident or roadwork comes up.
Exactly. 1 minute, everything's fine. Next, bam, a fender bender. And now you're in a standstill for 40 minutes while they move the wrecked car. And you're just thinking, dude, could you please not cause this kind of traffic just because you were too busy texting?
Oh, texting and driving. That's the big one, right? I saw someone the other day just chilling in the left lane, probably scrolling through their TikTok, and the whole road was backed up because of them.
That should be illegal, but, you know, it's not just texting. Some of it's just plain driver negligence, like, why do people forget how to merge? Or even worse, why do some people refuse to go the speed limit?
Yeah, and then there are the crazy reasons for traffic. Like, once I was stuck in a jam for 45 minutes because a celebrity was getting lunch nearby. People were just stopping to look at them like they were in a zoo. That was a nightmare.
Oh yeah, or like when they shut down a whole lane for a parade. I've seen that happen, and you know what? You're not even mad anymore, you're just laughing at the absurdity of it all.
So, we've got road accidents, construction, distractions, and parades. But let's not forget the weather. Rain, snow, fog, it all turns into chaos.
Oh, for sure. A little drizzle and suddenly you're in a parking lot. The worst part is the panic driving. Like when people don't know how to drive in the rain and they're slamming on the brakes at every puddle.
Alright, so let's talk about the real toll this takes. I mean, when you're in traffic for hours, what does it actually do to your body and mind? Because it's not just about being late.
No kidding. It's been shown in studies that sitting in traffic spikes your blood pressure. I mean, I can feel my muscles tightening, my jaw clenched. I'm a walking ball of stress after a 30-minute commute.
Yeah, and don't forget about the long-term stuff. Chronic stress from daily commuting can lead to all kinds of issues. You're talking about heart disease, high blood pressure, you name it.
Exactly. Let's not even get into air pollution. I mean, we're stuck in traffic with engines running, spewing out all that nasty stuff into the air. It's not just cars. It's the whole environment that's taking a hit.
You are an annoying shit.
Studies have shown that poor air quality from traffic pollution can mess with your lungs. Too, it's worse in big cities where traffic is non-stop and it impacts people with pre-existing conditions the most.
And then there's the mental toll. You ever get that feeling? Just pure frustration while you're stuck thinking, I'm never getting out of this, or even worse, this is my life now. It leads to road rage, anxiety, and burnout.
Right? It's like I get into this weird zone where I'm just angry at everything. The person who cut me off, the dude on his phone next to me. Everything gets magnified, and it's not like I can just get out of my car and walk it off.
And then you get home after hours of this and you're just exhausted. Don't get me started on the lack of sleep. Long commutes mess up your sleep schedule, and if you're getting less than 6 hours a night because of traffic, that's a recipe for disaster.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's get into the fun stuff. What are the traffic pet peeves that drive you absolutely nuts?
Oh, where do I even start? Let's go with the classic. People who don't use their turn signals. Like, just tell me where you're going, man. I'm not a psychic.
Yes, that's the worst. And then the tailgaters. I don't care if you're in a rush. If you're literally 3 inches behind my car, you're just making both of us late. Stop it.
And people who drive slow in the fast lane. Ugh, move over. The fast lane is not a scenic route.
Preach. And while we're on the topic of slow drivers, how about those people who stop at a green light or a roundabout? Like why? There's literally no reason to stop unless it's an emergency.
Don't even get me started on the rubberneck. You know, the ones who slow down to look at an accident that has already been cleared.
Yeah, like bro, move it. The scene is done. Keep driving.
You make me want to emigrate.
Okay, but let's talk for a minute about the bigger picture. The environmental costs. Traffic doesn't just suck for us, it's killing the planet.
Yeah, the air quality, all those cars on the road, idling with emissions pumping out into the air. It's no wonder cities have such high pollution levels.
Not to mention the noise pollution. It's not just about the air. You've got honking, engine revs, construction, and the screech of tires. It's just constant noise that wears you down over time.
And don't forget about the financial side. The money we spend just sitting in traffic is insane. According to studies, Americans lose over $160 billion a year just due to traffic delays.
That's wild, and that doesn't even count the extra fuel. You're burning gas just sitting there.
Yep, and if you think about the time lost, that's productivity out the window. It's affecting people's work-life balance, their happiness, their whole quality of life.
So, We're not just here to complain. Let's talk solutions. Public transportation, for one, could take a load off. More buses, trains, and subways. Fewer cars on the road.
Sorry, pal.
Yeah, carpooling, ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft, they're all great options. But biking and walking could make a huge difference for short commutes.
And then tech, smart traffic lights, AI, autonomous vehicles. These could all ease the gridlock.
All right, we've covered a lot. Traffic is a huge mess, and while we can't totally solve it, there are small changes we can make, whether it's
Something or
carpooling,
other.
taking the bus, or just being a little more patient.
Exactly. And hey, we'd love to hear your stories. What's your worst traffic experience? Drop it in the comments. Also, if you've got a tip to survive traffic, share it with us.
Thanks for tuning in to Road Rage Radio. Stay safe on the road. And until next time, keep your hands on the wheel and your patience in check.
All right, fucker. You're lucky I don't wipe my ass with you.
Come here! Somebody come here!
All right, fucker. You're lucky I don't wipe my ass with you. Pinche cabrón. All right, fucker.